everybody. How's everybody doing? First and foremost, how is my mic audio? Do let me know if I should turn the playlist, the lo-fi playlist, down or off. Either of those things. Welcome. Okay, for those of you who are not, for those of you who are living in Denmark and watching the stream from Denmark, glad you could make it. I'm pretty sure there's a football match on today, so I wouldn't be surprised if we are a little bit less people, but that's okay. Okay, cool. Audio good. Sounds nice. All right, but yes. Okay, I can do that. Oh my god, that's as low as it can go. There we go. Hope that's low enough. But yeah, otherwise, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you have not, welcome all the same. My name is Emily. I am a graduate of CADA. This is the CADA Bootcamp, 3D Bootcamp. I've been working in the industry now for roughly 2 years. And today's class is modeling in Blender. So, let's go. If you want to follow along with me and do as I do, you will have to have Blender downloaded and installed, etc. Otherwise, if you just want to watch and chill out and hang out, that's also totally cool. But without further ado, let's just get into it. Okay. There we go. Here we go. This is what it'll look like when you open it up by default. By the way, any questions, whether it's about the program, obviously, or if it's about 3D or the industry, or CADA as a school in general, feel free to ask at any time. Anything at any time, and I will try and get back to you guys as soon as possible. Otherwise, we have Christian in the chat, who is our lovely chat moderator. He goes under CADA. And he will also be helping out, trying to answer questions. Fix my chair. Okay. All right. So. And I can see Christian has left a little heads up in the chat, but maybe I'll address that later. Let's just get into it. Okay, cool. So. This is what it looks like when you open it up by default. I'll go over navigation first. So your main tools, there are a lot of different keyboard shortcuts and kind of like a few different ways to do the same things. But my go-to is by holding Shift and the middle mouse button. And that, holding those two buttons down at the same time, allows me to pan around the screen. Shift is a handy tool. Like, same middle mouse button, no shift, just clicking. That's going to allow you to rotate around your object in the scene. And then Blender is really lovely in that the middle mouse scroll wheel button function is it does what it's supposed to do. It was originally designed for zooming and scrolling, and Blender has implemented that. So if you scroll on your scroll wheel, you're going to zoom in and out, sort of like a snapping motion. You can see it's quite, yeah, something like that. Okay. There's another way. So if you hold Control and the middle mouse button. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah. Control and the middle mouse button. You're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna zoom, but it's like not a sort of snapping visualization. It's more of like a smooth. Yeah. So if you're really up close and personal with some vertices or vertexes, and that zoom is kind of handy. Okay, that is navigation. Cool. So, I guess I'll just delete these. We don't need these in the scene. This is you can see up here, this is a scene collection. Up here, like, I would call it an outliner because I'm a Maya girl. I work in that program primarily in the industry. Scene selection or an outliner. This is like a list of things in your scene just for organization, easy to see everything, and just, yeah. We have like a light and a camera. We don't need that. Usually you can hide it, delete it, ignore it, whatever. For the sake of this, for the sake of today, I might just delete it. I'm going to select it and I'm going to hit X on my keyboard to delete. Just make it nice and simple and easy. And yeah, so like I said, there are a lot of keyboard shortcuts to do a lot of the modeling and stuff like that. For the sake of learning, I'm gonna use mostly the buttons over here. Also because I'm a visual person, like I'm not so good at remembering, so it's nice to see visually the buttons and where they are and what they mean, and then you can select them and use them and stuff like that. So yeah. At this point, I would go ahead, I'm gonna hit tab on my keyboard. Hello? Blender, please respond. Oh, that's why. Okay. Do note, wait. What on earth was going on there? Weird, okay, Blender just glitched out for a second there, but anyway, I select it, I have my object selected, and then I'm gonna hit tab on my keyboard, and you'll see that's gonna change us into a different mode where it allows us to edit the actual geometry or topology. But you can also get into edit mode. Let's say this is the default, this is object mode. If you want to change that manually, you can go up here to that little tab, the down arrow, and then you have all sorts of modes here. What we want to be in is edit mode for this particular class. There we go. So you can do that, or you can hit tab, and that'll take you in and out of edit and object mode automatically. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Now, the moment I've been waiting for. It's around this part where I ask you guys what you would like to make. The sort of standard, like, we've done a lot of barrels in the past. Oh, actually, we've done more, like, knives and daggers and swords and such things. Usually knives. But, I like to give you guys also the option of what you want to create. We've made a little mushroom before. Last class I made a wizard staff. And oh, what else have I made? We've made a few things. We made a few little cute things. Something that we can make in an hour and a half, or an hour and 35-ish minutes. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, or you're curious on how to make something, feel free to put it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll just go ahead and pick something, do whatever. Mushroom Man. See, I think that's so fun. I like that already. Oh, we got a lot of suggestions. Okay, great. Joe Rogan's left ear. Okay. Okay. Karim, Darth Vader minion. Welcome back. Good to see you. A plant, a fish, a kopesh. Please delete default cube. Okay. Just for you, sir or ma'am. Just for you. I will do that. Yeah, a lot of people have opinions that you should delete default cube and insert a fresh cube, a new cube. We can do that. That's okay. It shouldn't really affect what we're trying to do here today, but it's, so we just X again, have the cube selected, X, delete, and then you want to go up to add, and then mesh, and then cube. we're literally going to use the same thing. We're using a cube anyway, so it's like, yeah. And because we're not taking it into other programs, hopefully shouldn't give us any problems. But it's a lot of people, professionals have opinions that you should delete the cube, the default cube, and that's I will not debate that. I will not argue with that. That's totally cool with me. Okay. A cube. Here we have a cube. Well done. You've modeled a cube. Amazing. Okay. Oh, I like so many of these ideas. Mushroom man, plant, fish, Darth Vader minion. You could create a magic door or a gate. Wow. I mean, all of these suggestions are so good, honestly. Like, the only ones that are sort of similar, ooh, a penguin, a duck. Oh my god, how could I possibly choose? There are a lot of animal suggestions in there. I'm so sorry, Thomas. I think Darth Vader minion might be a little bit too complex for an hour and a half's class, especially since I'm teaching the basics from scratch. A dodo. That's a fun idea. One ring to rule them all. Oh, how tempting. A donut. Yeah, we can model a donut. Let's model a donut. Whee! Congratulations. We have made a donut. Oh my god. Okay, no, we're not doing that. Wow. This is like, oh. A lot of it. There we go. A lot of different ideas here. A peanut with a top hat. And then someone also suggests it would be cool to draw something where you use an imported reference as an image or a mask. Someone also suggests a car. Okay. You could technically model something using an image as a reference, but then everyone in the class would need the same image to make the same thing, unless you guys wanted to do something different. I think we're just going to keep it nice and simple. Don't want to underestimate how... Yeah, we keep it nice and simple. These things can tend to take a little bit of time. But you guys are more than welcome to continue working on it, even after the class. A treasure chest. Idaho. A treasure chest. With so many diverse answers. Wow, this is okay. A feather. Oh my lord. Okay. Okay, time to be a mask. Bob. You guys are screwing with me. Oh my god. Okay. I think... Okay, so the most commonalities that I can see: mushroom man, a duck, a penguin. They're kind of animals, small animals. A plant, a fish. And then we have a couple of car suggestions. I think we'll do a penguin, or yeah, a treasure chest is somewhat doable. It depends if the treasure chest lid should open or not. If the lid opens, then it takes another second, but if it's just closed, then that's also cool. Yeah. A floating island with a lighthouse. Okay, strap in, guys. We're gonna be here for the next 16 hours. Depending on the detail. Okay, I see a treasure chest is popular. What do you guys think about that? Indiana Jones hat, fruit basket. I think the most doable is a penguin, a little cartoony penguin, or a treasure chest. Okay. Oh, what have I done? I've created absolute chaos. Now we can't choose between a penguin or a treasure chest. Christian, I give you the final vote as the, or maybe not. Maybe actually. Oh my god! Now I have to count votes. Okay. I need to take a tally. Oh shit! Oh my god! Christian coming in with the poll. Yes, vote, guys. This is it. Genius. What have we got here? Ooh, cast your votes. So far, treasure chest is winning. Okay. Now penguin is winning. What? Okay, I'm just gonna, yep, keep voting, keep doing your thing. I'm just gonna show you guys some basics while you make up your mind. And then you guys can take off in any direction that you want. I'm gonna give you guys the tools that you need to make whatever you want. And when the poll is done, we'll continue with that. Okay, anyway, so far. So, essentials. The really important things you need to know. This is a cube. Haha, ta-da, well done. Okay. This thing that I've highlighted here, this is called a vertice or a vertex, if you don't already know that. Me selecting this little dot here, we are allowed to do that by being in vertex mode up here. So that allows me to move this thing independently and change the geometry that way. Quite handy. If you are looking for bigger changes than that, sometimes it can be very useful. I mean, what am I talking about? We do it all the time. Edge mode, that is what you would also expect. You can edit individual edges. You can also edit multiple individual edges at a time. Same with vertices. All you have to do to select multiple segments at a time is holding shift. So, yeah, I can do a lot by just doing that. Face mode, the little square up here. That allows me to select multiple faces at a time. So, oh my god. It's a tie? Are you joking? I mean, look, at the end of the day, 50-50, guys. Christian, I think you need to be the final vote. Christian is also a 3D artist, so he can also make an educated decision, and his single vote could possibly be the one that, you know, so I don't know. What do you say? A treasure chest full of penguins. Great idea. Okay. Oh, there's another poll. Okay. Okay, treasure chest is winning. Treasure chest is winning now. Yeah, okay. Do I get to vote? It's not fair for me to vote, but, you know. We have 21 votes so far. Last poll, we had 26 votes. So, okay. It's the treasure chest. We're gonna do the treasure chest. Okay. Great. Okay, sweet. Wow, you cheeky buggers. You got away with it this time. It was nearly a penguin. That was a close one. Okay, cool. Let's do it. So if you treasure chest loving people, this is gonna come in handy. Okay, face mode, and then we just pull this out like this. Oh my god. Done. Nah, okay, cool. So for the sake of symmetry, there's a lot of different ways to do symmetry, but I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm gonna select, by just like left clicking and holding shift, I'm gonna select multiple faces at a time. And this little arrow here that you've seen me use is the move tool. You could probably guess. I'm gonna go to this square thing in here. This is rotate, so this is the rotation, like, that's, yeah. So we don't want that, we want this, and this is the little scale tool. And I am going to just scale it apart like this. You can also scale one side at a time. The reason I've grabbed two at a time is just because it helps keep the object, it's just, like, you don't have to, there's no real reason, it just keeps the object centered and equally, like, equal, yeah, anyway. Yeah, okay. Okay, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do, that's fine. Nice, okay. Also important, if you are in doubt, we're probably going to make a really stylized treasure chest because we kind of, yeah, why not? Always have reference, always get reference. If you're an artist, you should know this. I don't need to say it, but treasure chest, okay, yeah. Nice. Oh, that looks fun. I like that. It's gonna be pretty stylized, but that's okay. I have never seen a real pirate's treasure chest in real life, so that is cool. Maybe that's actually too stylized. I don't know. We start somewhere. Let's just do it. Okay. Okay, Gooby animations, my tools don't work. I can only select corners. Make sure you are selecting, or you're in the right selection mode up here when you do select. That should allow you to select more than one thing. Yes, thank you for the help, guys. What a helpful chat. Love it. Okay. So, let's just start with this. Also, just while we're at it, you've probably noticed as I rotate around this, maybe you haven't, I don't know, this thing up here moves around with it. This helps me visualize where I am in world space. This whole 3D zone is called like the world space, the 3D world space, I guess. And these represent like up and left and right and whatever. So if I click on these, it's gonna take me to bird's eye view, pretty much. This is perspective view, and perspective view we use, you know, almost all the time. It's like perspective view. It's like if you were in ZBrush's class, in the ZBrush class last week also, you might remember me talking about orthographic view and perspective. Perspective, the camera or you visually, the camera takes into consideration depth of field. So the things closest to you appear bigger and the things further away from you appear smaller. So this sort of depth of field feeling is applied. However, when I click one of these, it's going to take me to orthographic view. So that depth of field view is lost. Everything's just one-to-one, back-to-back. It's like, yeah. So, same with this view. If you're ever, like, upside down and you're like, what? And then you can just click this and, yeah, you're right side up again. That'll become more obvious, obviously, when we add more stuff. Okay. So, should I not attempt to make the lid open? Oh, God. I don't mean to be indecisive. There's so many decisions to make. I think I'm going to do it with the lid closed, because having the lid open would probably make more sense if the lid was its own separate geometry, which acted on a hinge. That would take a little bit more time. Okay. We'll just do the basic. Okay. Now, I guess I'm just going to go straight. Okay. So we want to go to loop cut. That's just like one of the tools here. Pretty simple, pretty basic. It is going to allow me to add cuts into my mesh. And I don't know if that's enough. Might do a couple more, because why not? Hopefully I don't regret that later. Yeah, okay, still in edge mode. I'm gonna go to the move tool. Yes, okay. Still in edge mode, I'm gonna go to the move tool. I'm gonna select that center edge there. And I'm gonna use this tool up here. This little circular thing. This is what is it called again? I know it as soft selection. That's how I know it. But in Blender, it is called proportional editing. Proportional edit mode. Proportional editing. I call it a soft selection. And I'm just going to leave it on the default setting, smooth. Having this turned on here means that for whatever I select and change or move or edit, it is going to have some sort of fall off. So it's going to affect the other geometry around it. So if I do like this, you can see now it's moving everything else around it. If I turn it off, it's going to be like this. So I'm going to leave that on, and I'm going to move it. Except this is not quite right for me. I want it to affect more of the area. So in order to change that, I'm going to grab it, and as I select it and move it, this gray sphere pops up in the center of my screen. I hope you can see. While holding down the left click button and using the scroll wheel to scroll, I can change the diameter of this circle, of this sphere. Changing the diameter of this sphere, of this circle, is like saying, okay, how much of the surrounding area do you want to be affected? So I'm just gonna, what was it before? I can't even remember. Okay, that's too much. Sometimes it's just trial and error with these things, and that's okay. And then that's not enough. I guess it's not gonna be perfect, but actually, yeah, I'm gonna try something. Do like this. There we go. This allows me to create a nice rounded shape. And I can see it's obviously a very tall chest now, but we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna select these outer edges, and still with this turned on, I'm gonna do the same thing. Did I? Yeah, okay. Just lower. Might just decrease that a little bit. It's not exactly how I want it. now I'm just gonna turn that off. Maybe that's a little bit too harsh of a curve, but not the end of the world. All right, gonna select these outer edges now and use something called, where is it? Edge slide. Maybe, yes, beautiful. Okay, with edge slide turned on, it takes your edges and it moves the geometry you've selected while still holding the shape that you've already created, holding the sort of the integrity of the shape, I guess. Whereas if I just did the move tool and moved it down, it's gonna, or if I, you know, or if I use the scale tool like I used before, it's kind of not gonna have, yeah, it's just much easier to use this tool. By the way, I'm pressing Control Z to undo whatever I don't like, and Control Shift Z to redo something that I regret undoing, I guess. Just so you know that. And that kind of that undoes my shape a little bit. I don't like that. Okay, we leave it as it is. That's fine. Okay, cool. All right, now I'm just going to select. I think I'm actually just gonna do this. Yeah. Or I could just do this. And then also this. We don't want that. I'm gonna hold Control while dragging over this face to select the top. Okay, I can see there's a lot of comments in the chat. I will get to you in just a second. So now that I've selected these top faces, just gonna move it down to somewhere where I'm kind of happy with it. Yeah, it's alright. That'll do. Oh, okay. Some funky business going on here. Because I had the soft selection turned up so high, it actually affected the lower geometry also. I can fix that. Control. Hello. Okay, Control drag or Shift click to deselect. Okay. Alright. So I'm gonna fix this. Let's actually see. So if you can see that little arrow on the side of your screen here, it's just like kind of hidden. I'm gonna pull that out. This gives you numbers and sort of like exact measurements, diameters, and whatnot. Let's see. I can scale it. What happens if I... Oh. Well, that's handy. So, how do I explain this? This green and red line, where this meets in the center, you can't see it because my chest is in the way. Where this meets in the center, this is called the, that's the 3D cursor thing, I do believe it's called. That's like world space center. By setting this to 0, it wants to move us to the ground floor level. That's nice. We might do that. Move that up a little bit later. Put it on the ground. Yeah, that might be handy. Okay. Oh, okay. Time to read some questions. Okay. Hopefully this was just enough information to get you guys started. Okay, so do you guys want the same reference photo as me, or would you rather make your own? Because it's just a generic treasure chest that I found. Oh, okay. Thomas, I'm not sure if you found a solution for your issue yet, but I'm not sure I'm quite understanding what you're saying. That it only moves the middle or of the up or down, not the whole face. Edge slide is this button, by the way, but you have to be in edge mode to select it. Well, actually, yeah, I mean, you can do it, but it's not exactly functional. The pivot snap again, so you can round the top. The pivot snap? Do you mean when I did this? The soft selection? It's actually a tad bit sharp anyway. To be honest, like, I can send you guys my reference, but like, I'm gonna make a treasure chest that looks like the exact same as like everything else. The fall off thing. Yeah, okay, so it is this thing. Okay, soft selection. Yeah, you just turn that on, and then while you're clicking, use the scroll wheel button to adjust the size of it. And then when you're happy with that, you can tweak it some more. Yeah, I didn't snap any pivot points. I guess I'm just confused because pivot point is also a technical term that we would only use in specific scenarios. But this tool is the tool I use to round the top. I hope that makes sense. Okay. What was I doing? Ta-da! Oh no, I can't wait. Why can't I submit links in the chat? Oh no, Christian, help. Okay, I can't, for some reason I can't submit any links in the chat right now, for my reference image, but it will all come together, trust the process. Okay. Now, I think what I'm gonna do... Let's see if this works. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. What the... That's not what I wanted to do. Come on. What? What? Oh, that's why. I was wondering why that was happening. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna have to do it manually. That's probably better anyway, so you guys get the tools. Okay. Usually a rule of thumb in 3D is take as many shortcuts as you can because it saves time, and time is very, very valuable. Not that we didn't know that already, but yeah. I'm just gonna do like this. I might actually do like this. Just to make sure the bottom is flat. At least somewhat flat. It looks pretty flat to me. Just line it up with this grid here. It's much easier to see if it is indeed flat. It's not flat. Okay. It's not flat, but it's okay. For this exercise, you can't really tell. It's not that important. Okay. It's just nice to have clean geometry and topology. Okay, let's keep going. We are on a time schedule. I'm gonna go back to loop cut, and I'm gonna make some there and there. Make some here. No, do believe that's like. No, I'm kind of gonna neglect the bottom because we don't really need that right now. This one here and here. Cool. Now that I've added all these loops, let's use them. Come on now. What is it? There we go. Okay. So I've held Alt while clicking this loop so that it selects the whole thing the whole way around. Gonna do the same, but this time I'm gonna hold Shift Alt to select the other loop also. Now that I've got that selected, I'm gonna do the same as I did before and just scale it apart. I think you can imagine what this might be. Like so. Gonna do the same with this. Except, yeah, that's that. This one I'm gonna have to use edge slide because it's such a unique shape that it kind of needs to follow the rest of this shape also. It's not just one-to-one. So I'm gonna slide that up. And I'm actually gonna scale it too. I'm just gonna scale that edge. There we go. So that it's kind of mimics that top edge also. Yeah. I mean, this looks okay, but this is a bit, yeah, okay, it'll do. Yes. All right. So I have my edges in place. I am somewhat happy with that. Now, this is where you kind of have to be strategic about it because I've placed these edges. Now I'm going to go into face mode. I've placed these edges strategically so that I can pull out the shape from what it's intended to be. So maybe if can I actually? No, that's not what I want. There we go. Don't want that No. Okay, we want all that. Good. We do not want... Oh. Oops. Don't want that. No. What is going on? There we go. Okay. It will come together, I promise. There we go. It refuses. Come on now. There we go. Can't forget that. Okay. So, as you can probably guess, I actually want those, not... As you can probably guess, this is kind of going to be like my metal border outline thing. I've selected the polygons I want to use. Now, it is time to extrude. Extruding, which is this one. Yeah, that's fine. Essentially, it's just gonna pull those faces outwards in an equally divided way, but whilst it pulls out, it's gonna actually create geometry from its original spot. So if I just went ahead and scaled it to pull it out and make it bigger, it's gonna affect everything. But if I extrude it, it's gonna create stuff like this. And for some reason, it only wants to go up. Wait, maybe if I try. Okay, you can also do that. Nope. There we go. Okay, so these are, okay, transform pivot point. Okay, so I guess, yeah, I'm not sure if this has anything to do with somebody's comment from before, but changing these pivot points, it's called a pivot point, the point of which you're kind of making all the changes from. It's like calculated based off of the pivot point. Before I had it on default, which I do believe was it individual origins, and that's going to affect it in this way, as you can see. I just went ahead and changed that to, what did I do? Active element, I think. And it calculates it differently from this center point. So now when I do it, it's gonna pull it out. That doesn't actually really help. I thought it was doing something for a sec. Okay, anyway. It's still handy to know. So these things affect it differently. I'm just gonna have to go and do it the other way. I'm gonna pull this up where I'm happy with it, because apparently it only wants to do it vertically. It's kind of annoying. Now I'm gonna scale, and I'm going to look at the measurement from the top here, and I'm kind of just gonna eyeball it to be kind of close. Something like that, maybe slightly more. Okay. Alright, now I kind of just have to... should actually scale it like this also. actually better. I'm going to take... kind of happy with these, so I'm gonna hold control and drag to deselect all of these faces here. Oh shit. Excuse my language. Like this. And then... okay. So I've kind of just highlighted these parts. I don't really know if this is the most efficient way to make a chest, but I'm kind of, you know, I've never, if we do a new object every class, to mentally figure out how to do it, it's kind of like, it's new every time, it's different every time, so there's no kind of blueprint for this. We just do it, we just go with it. So... I have not done this before, but that is not a problem. And I think I had it right the first time, but I've already done it. That's close enough. There we go. Okay. Cool. It's a little bit rough, but it's okay. I think I am missing something though. Yeah, it's kind of flat on this side, isn't it? Okay, still in face mode, Alt. Come on. Okay. Go. Alright, now that I've got those faces selected, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna... Hello. Are we glitching or what is going on? Oh my gosh, so many comments. Uh-oh. I've done something here. This is a big no-no. Uh-oh. Okay. Troubleshooting time. Yep. I knew it. There was something off going on. Okay. This is actually good. A good learning experience. Okay, wait. So, what you want to avoid most of all, I mean... if you're not bringing your object into a game engine, or if you're not using it for any particular thing, it's not as much of an issue, but the golden rule that you absolutely at all costs don't want is faces with more than 4 sides. Triangles, okay. You know, technology is getting more and more advanced. The computers and the game engines can handle it a bit more. More than 4 sides, bad. And what this appears to me at first glance, if I go into edge mode, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's not what's going on here, as we discovered. But in order to solve this issue, I would use a knife, and I would go, maybe I should go vertex mode, and I would just knife that and turn that, you know, click, enter to create a triangle. Oh shit, oh my god. 2 triangles and squares with 4 sides. That's not what's going on here, but just so you guys know, yeah. They're called n-gons, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe I should brush up on my geometry. But yeah, some funky business was happening there, so I'm not going to scale it. I'm going to do this instead. Because this topology is whack. And I know you guys are saying so much in the chat. I just want to get something done so that you guys have something to show for it before the class is over. Oh my god, it's already 18:30. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So I think I will go from. Okay. How do I extrude all of the selected faces? This button here, extrude region. You click on that, and it will allow you to extrude. Oh, sorry, am I going too fast? Okay, my bad. If I am going too fast or too slow, do let me know. I just want to get as much information out to you guys as soon as possible. I can slow down, totally, that's totally fine. If this class is a little bit too slow for you, and if you're looking for something a little more advanced, then join CADA, go to school here. Because, yeah, that's a steep learning curve. There's a lot to know. But having said that, it's very rewarding. So, I can only extrude them in one direction. Let's see. I do believe that is... If you click the plus sign, that will happen. If you click within the sphere, you can sort of control that. But, like, if you just wanted to extrude it on the x-axis only, you're kind of going to have to eyeball that, I guess. Unless, no, wait. There's another way. I know it. So, E on your keyboard. Let's see. E on your keyboard for extrude. But before you move anything, I'm going to hit escape. So, E on your keyboard to extrude. And then I'm going to hit X on my keyboard. Which, as you can see, if I hit X, Z... Oh, okay. That's crazy. Okay. E, and you can see by default it's blue, but it's the... Is that the Y? It goes along the Y line, but it's blue, so it means it's the Z axis. Anyway, if I hit the X axis, then it will allow me to extrude in only one direction. But you need to know you gotta do the keyboard shortcuts for that. If I just use this, then it's gonna be more free. Or what if I... No, okay, that's cool. Okay, X, no, not X, don't press X, oh my god. Just do this and then... my god. Okay, I just changed the viewport setting, so. Up here, these little spheres here, they are different ways to visualize your object within the scene. So right now I'm kind of like in this ghost mode, I guess. If I want to go back to the default mode, which is this one, I just click the full sphere, and that is kind of where we were. But yeah, E for extrude, and then X or whatever axis that you want to do it kind of in more like a solid way. I use these letters up here to see like, okay, what axis do I want? Yes, anyway. Okay. Alright, is that far out enough, do we think? Maybe not. Do we offer fully remote educations? No, unfortunately we do not. At CADA it is mandatory to study also on campus because we are a full-time education. Oh, that wasn't what you meant. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, if you want to reuse this this model that you make for the next class, which is texturing, remember to save your file. It's just the basics: file, save as, and then save your file wherever you want. Save and save often. You can also press Control S. That will also allow you to save. Also, this class will be available after the stream is over. You can also rewatch this video, or you can rewatch previous modeling videos also. There's lots of information out there. Hopefully that helps too. So if you're ever a bit lost, or if it's too fast or slow or whatever, you can always, yeah, watch it, and the information will still be there. Am I missing any other questions? Okay, this is a good question that I haven't addressed yet also. How can I scale up my project whilst keeping the proportions? So, a couple different ways you can do it. If I hit A on my keyboard, it's going to select everything. It's going to select all my geometry. And then I can just go to the scale, and I can just scale it up. No worries. Blender's default measurement system is in meters, so just keep into account, like, this is 0 point something meters or whatever, which actually, a chest is actually, like, why is it so small? What the fuck? Oh, it's going the other way. Okay, weird. Maybe this one's better. Let's see. What? Yeah, anyway, okay. Well, in any case, if the other, that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is if you go to tab and you're into object mode, you can also scale the whole object and it will keep its proportions. I hope that helps. I'm gonna go to edge mode. And I'm gonna hold Alt while clicking the edge, which is gonna allow me to select the whole edge. And to do that multiple times, I'm gonna hold Shift Alt to select multiple edges. Like so. I'm actually gonna scale this together because it's like weird right now. Okay. Maybe I do. There we go. Something like this. Move that down. I should have done the other side at the same time. I'm such a genius. It's actually not a bad shape, but it's just... Let me see. Perfectionist in me, it's just okay. that will do. Actually. Oh, shit. Wrong button. Okay. Wrong button again. Okay, there we go. That'll do, that'll do. Okay. And just to perfect it even more, I'm gonna grab these vertices and I'm just gonna move them down. This is why orthographic view is so handy. Just like that. I'm basically lining it up so that this underside edge here is somewhat flat, I guess you could say. And I'm gonna I'm also gonna do this. Nope, I'm not. I'm gonna use these edges here. Yes. And I'm just gonna move that down. Cool. There we go. Now that's one side. I should have done it to the other side at the same time, but you guys get the idea. I will continue to the other side. How are we doing? Oh my gosh, wait. Is texturing also in Blender? Yes, texturing is also in Blender, for this class at least, yes. So you will be set and ready to go. Okay, Christian coming in with the facts. We do offer courses, but that's also kind of like, yeah, then you're not technically attending the university and you don't get a degree with it. It's just like, yeah, just some class and stuff like that. More information on the website. Can you make mirroring like in ZBrush so you can make the same on both ends? I actually think you can, but it only works if your geometry is perfectly symmetrical from the start, which maybe I should have, yeah. There are other ways to symmetrize it at the end or after or later, which I also could have done. But I felt that you could learn more tools this way. Yeah, it's okay if your chest is funky. It's alright. It's creative. No worries. Question. Okay. No, of course. Always. I'm a Sina. Am I pronouncing your name right? Sina? Sina says, I'm a producer, but have mostly done live action. For you as a 3D artist, what are your top 3 needs from your producer or production manager? Yes, mostly. Well, it's kind of a loaded question. What are my top 3 needs that I need from my producer? Okay. Well, first of all, as a 3D artist, like so far in the industry, I've mostly spent time working as a junior, and I have a creative director and a supervisor. I don't directly speak to the producers myself within, you know, my company that I work at is very, very small. So, like other businesses, other companies, other people, whoever they may be, come to us as clients, and maybe they even bring their own creative directors. Maybe they bring their own people, but at the end of the day, my senior 3D artists or my senior creative directors, my seniors, and my boss talk with those clients, and yeah, and then my creative director directs me on what we need to do. I'm like totally briefed on what we need done, and then I do it. So I don't directly speak to the client myself, and because our team is so small, like our team meetings are like 4 people, like yeah, we're pretty tight knit. 3 needs that I need. I mean, honestly, the creative direction just needs to be, for me personally, it needs to be super clear. Like, I need a timeline when it needs to be done. I need, okay, what exactly am I doing, and do I have reference? What's the feeling and the look we're trying to achieve? And I need time and to get paid, but, so, but yeah, time and clear direction, I would say. Good question. Thank you. Gooby, I love your humor. I love the way you think. I hope I didn't miss anything else from earlier. Yeah, I think I got everything. Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. You're welcome. Okay, now because I'm doing this off the top of my head, off the cuff, I did not think. Let me see. That's not what I wanted to do. Christian, do we have aircon in this room? It is hot in here, which is kind of crazy to say considering we're in Denmark, but summer is coming. I think we're actually in summer now, aren't we? Or are we in spring? I think we're in summer. It's hot. And that says a lot coming from me because I was born in Australia, so if I say it's hot, you know it's hot. I should have done it at the same time, damn it. I got too caught up in trying to explain something. Okay. Now, look, okay. 2 of the sides of the chest, they're sisters, not twins, alright? Okay, it is what it is, okay? It's okay. There we go. Okay, now I've already shown you guys how to do this, so I'm just gonna quickly do it again. Okay. Like that works, but why do it look like that though? There we go. Back to edges. I'm gonna take this and this and this and this. I think I scaled the other side, but whatever. It's okay. Sometimes you gotta let go of the inner perfectionist because it's gonna stifle you. Is that what it's called? It's going to create hurdles for you. Okay. I can't really tell what's front and back, so let's fix that. Christian says the AC isn't working. Oh my god. Yes, in the most PG way possible, I'm totally getting toasted in here. I need to look at my reference again. Yes. Okay, that's a good question. Can we do some plank type stuff on the chest? We can. However, from a, I guess, a professional perspective, I would usually do something like that within texturing, adding those finer details. It really depends. Like, if... It really depends. No, yeah, I would. Because even if... Like, you can add those plank sort of details within the texture, like, color-wise, if it's, like, cartoony. If you needed a more, like, hyper-realistic chest, I would add that to a height map or a normal map. Probably both. Or a bump map. Probably also that. So that the geometry was just, it is what it is right now. But then when it came time to render those the computer would calculate those height maps and those bump maps and register that as, oh, if the geometry had more polygons, then it would actually look like this. And then it would create for us automatically those little indents of like where the planks were, depending on where that texture information was within those bump maps. It's a little bit technical. It'll make more sense if you come to the texturing class next week. What time is it? Holy smokes. Oh my gosh, the time. Okay. Let's, we must get moving. Okay. I'm going to inset these faces. It's basically doing the same thing as extruding, except it doesn't protrude it out. It just creates surrounding geometry here from what I've got selected, so that I kind of have more to work with. So that tool that I just used was inset faces. Why are you not doing what I want you to do? Hopefully before the end I have time to smooth these edges. Okay, we are going full send, full dive into the sisters not twins ideology. Okay. Here we go. Now from these little faces that I've made, I'm gonna extrude and pretend this is kind of like a little lock thing. I don't know why, but I tend to be pretty good at making organic things in modeling also, even though modeling is like, hard surface modeling is like for objects like this. I don't know. Maybe that's just my brain. Okay, so Gooby asks a fair question. Next week on texturing, are we also making models or only texturing? We are only texturing, but you can use any model that you want to do that. Preferably, it should be unwrapped. That's essential to having a decent, or actually being able to texture. We will also provide you a model that is pre-unwrapped to texture, if you would rather skip straight to the texturing. I usually really briefly try to run over unwrapping because, like I said, it is essential to texturing your own assets if you want to. But it's kind of like the more technical side of it, and it's not really as fun as like the actual texturing process. So yeah, it's kind of like, well, I don't want to spend the whole class teaching you how to unwrap, even though you need to know how to do it. That's not like what we came here to learn, right? So you will also, but then you can't texture without unwrapping. So I was like, but we will provide you something that's already unwrapped. If you want to use your own object to texture, then it will need to be unwrapped. Either I can show you how to do that, or there's like lots of things online about that stuff. Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. I'm literally like, how did I run out of time? Like, so quick. Oh my days. Okay. It's okay. I will show you guys till the very end. No. Oh my god. Okay. So I've selected all these edges, not necessarily because I'm going to do too much to them. I just want to... Let me see. No. Okay, so it's actually the opposite. Let's actually... Then we have to take all of these. Here we go, lovely. This is gonna take a second. I'm basically just what I'm doing is I'm selecting all the edges that I want to be sharp. Hoping this works how I want. And that'll make more sense in a second also. This is a sharp edge, that's a sharp edge, that's a sharp edge, that's a sharp edge, that's a sharp edge. Doot, doot. Doot, doot. It's also a sharp edge. To do this, I'm just holding Alt and Shift while selecting all of the edges. I should... Yeah, okay, there we go. Alright, and I know we are out of time, or at least very soon out of time. Probably have another 5 minutes. But I want to mention something that Christian mentioned earlier, which was that... Where is it? Okay, yeah. The 3D printer that we have is undergoing maintenance, so we'll have the 3D printer ready for next week's bootcamp, he says. I believe that's relevant because we had voted on a sculpt for somebody's sculpt to be 3D printed. I'm not sure if that's already done or not, but yeah, I wish you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, Christian, because if it is done, I'm sure we should show it off, but that's if it is done, so I might need some clarification on that. Oh, I just totally want to see how it's going to turn out. It's going to be so cool. Okay. If you weren't here for... Yeah, okay, so it's not ready. So we'll showcase it at next week's bootcamp. Okay, cool. If you weren't here for last week's class, we had a ZBrush sculpting class, and that is where we voted on somebody's sculpt, yeah, to be 3D printed, which is super fun. So yeah. Alright, I've meticulously gone through and selected all of these edges, some of which I don't even need, but I don't have time to clean it up right now. And the reason why is I've selected all these edges, and I'm gonna right click and go mark sharp. It doesn't do anything to the geometry, but it'll make more sense in a second why I've done that. Then I'm gonna go to tab, or maybe I don't have to. I'm gonna go to tab, and I'm going to right click again, and I'm gonna shade smooth. Da-da-da-da. Again, shade smooth doesn't do anything to the geometry, but when you select that, it basically, the computer basically is like, okay, for every edge that has not been marked as sharp, I don't know if that makes any sense what I'm saying. Shade smooth basically takes every edge and it doesn't change the shape, but it calculates the shadows. So instead of each face having like a hard edge and the shadows reflecting those hard edges, the computer is going to read those edges, and instead of them being like really hard jaggedy edges, the computer's going to read those shadows a lot smoother and go, oh, this is actually a smooth object, so all the shadows between every face should be blended and should be even. That's what shade smoothing does. But because I went through and chose these seams or these edges and marked them as sharp, the computer was like, oh, but not this edge. This edge is actually meant to be sharp, so I'm just going to leave that as it is. And that's why it reads the shadows as an extremely hard edge. If I didn't have this as a hard edge, it would look more something like this, for example. Take all that and clear sharp. So before I marked it sharp, now I'm going to clear it sharp. See how that immediately changed the shadows? Now if I go back, now the computer is trying to read this area as something that's smooth, even though the edges are incredibly hard and like still like the geometry is the same. The geometry is the exact same. The computer's like, oh, it's a soft edge, so I should smooth those shadows, right? And it's like completely like, it doesn't really make sense. Give me World of Warcraft vibes. Granted, I love World of Warcraft, but that's not exactly, yeah. So, just gonna undo that. Cool. And then, ideally, I would continue and bevel all of these edges. So for example, that could look something like this. I would do every edge at once, but select the edges that are like super hard, and then where is that? Bevel. And basically it's gonna create geometry on these edges, but just smoothen them out a little bit. Ta-da! And then in this case, you actually could smooth these edges because now you kind of have two edges to hold the shape. So let's see if actually that looks a bit better, perhaps. But now you have to select double the amount of edges because we just created double. And you can do that multiple times. There are also settings so that instead of just creating one face, it creates 2 or 3 or however many you like. I'm gonna select that. And then I'm going to go clear sharp. Let's see if that did something. Okay, there we go. That's much nicer. It looks a little bit better, right? Other than that, I don't know what the fuck. So, beveling edges, ideally, even if it has, like, even if the object in real life has a sharp edge, the computer, like, takes sharp edges to the next level, like, to the max. There is nothing in existence that has an edge that's, like, infinitely that sharp. Like, down to the, you know, yeah, down to the molecules. Like, there's always, like some sort of, yeah, softness to it. And it just looks a little bit more realistic here rather than here. So yeah. However, a warning about this. If you choose to take this route where you bevel every edge, do beware of n-gons, of polygons with more than 5 sides. In this case, we have some clean topology here. It's all nice and cleaned up. But here, yes, I see you. Yep. Come on, there we go. This has created a face here that we don't want, which has then in turn created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and, you know, so on for this face, and yeah, and this face, and yeah. So beware of that, and be sure to check your geometry or select every edge at a time and bevel them all at the same time. That can also tend to help avoid that issue, or just be thorough in checking through. But that's it. All right, guys. We are over time. We are so over time. Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys for those of you who joined, and am I missing anything? Do we need to go on Discord, Christian, or are we good? I hope you guys, even if the chest doesn't look exactly as we dreamed, I hope you guys learned a few tools and a few basics, and I hope you were able to put something together nice that you like for yourself, and keep going, keep working at it, and yeah, the perfect chest shall appear in no time. Okay, I missed a couple of questions. Just ordered a new 3D print today. Bamboo Lab has... very nice. Does someone need to be signed up for the bootcamp to join in on the streams? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But it's good for... Well, maybe you do. It's better for us if you do, because we can sort of, like, yeah, regulate numbers and see other details like that. I don't know, up top business. But yeah, obviously anyone is welcome to join. But I don't think it's, yeah. Oh yes, Christian coming up with the good stuff. We have a picture uploaded to Discord. I'm not logged in, damn it. Okay. Yeah. So maybe we'll run through Discord at the end of next week's class. Not sure if we have many submissions. Wait, I can check. For those of you that have to run, thank you so much for joining today's class. And if you followed along with me, like I said, I hope you learned a little something. And if you just chilled out and watched, I hope you at least enjoyed it and had a nice time. So thank you very much for joining. And for those of you who have another second and willing to hang around, I'm just going to check if we have any. We do! you. Oh my god, lovely. Okay, I need to... Okay, I will show you guys the Discord in 1 second. There we go. Wonderful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, amazing. What? You guys are totally killing it. I am blown away. These were some sculpts that we did from last week's class. So you guys are so quick to learn. Crazy. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's texture. Wow, looking great. You guys can see what I mean by when you render, it can pick up that sort of information in the renderer. Wonderful. Beautiful. Amazing. You guys are so fast. So such quick. What? That? Oh my god. What are you doing here? Wifey. Always blowing it out of the park, bro. You guys, you need to come to CADA. For real. Amazing. And so cute. So amazing. Good on you for doing what you want. Making your own thing. Taking your own path. Very good. And this is beautiful. This is amazing. I love it. So, wow. Yeah, that's perfect. The only thing that I would just watch out for, this black side of the polygons here, if you tried to render this would not show up so well. That's the other side of the face of a polygon, which texture information, unless you made the polygons double-sided, texture information can't sit on that, and it also means it has no thickness. If you wanted to render it, or if you wanted to put it in another engine, I would recommend adding some thickness to this, and then also modeling the inside of the chest. That's just so if you wanted to render it, then you would be aware of that info. But otherwise, it looks so cool. Well done. Well done. I like the shape of this one, actually. It's more interesting. It's less boring than mine. Yes. Okay, great job, guys. Amazing. Sweet. Cool. There we go. Well, yeah. Thank you guys so much for today, like I said. Am I missing anything else? No, you can use a Blender for sculpting, totally, but it's not a software specifically developed for sculpting. It's kind of like an all-rounder thing. You can do lots of things in Blender. ZBrush is your sculpting best friend. Like, absolute best friend for sculpting. But it works, you know. But yeah, okay. With that said, I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope you had an awesome time, just like either watching or learning a little something or making something cool. And hope to see you next time. Next week's class is texturing, like we said. More information on the website, online. Sign up, or if you're already signed up, that's totally cool. Would you... Oh, we have a question. Would you have to retopologize from ZBrush? Yes. Yes. On very rare circumstances, no, but generally, yes, absolutely. Yeah, because ZBrush outputs geometry that's just such a mess, and you have to clean it up, and it's like, yeah, it's a nightmare. But that's a whole different topic. Retopologizing, it's literally a thing on its own. So yeah, you would have to do that. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, thanks guys. Hope to see you next week for sculpting. I mean, texturing. Now I'm talking about sculpting. Hope to see you next week for texturing. Don't forget to save your program if you want to use your model for texturing next week. Otherwise, we will provide you with a model. But yeah, other than that, thanks so much, and see you next week. Same time, same place. Cool. Bye, guys.